God, this is flying by. Next up, third guest, we have got Eric Burleson of... Right, we keep thinking this is called the BEF, but everything says otherwise. The BEF. Hello, how are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you just fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you so much for coming on.
Totally.
Do you want to tell us about your film?
Yeah, so my name's Eric Burleson, and I am the director of the short film called The BEF. The BEF follows a young boy named Sammy who is being pursued by a police officer while he struggles to figure out what to do with the baby in his care, as well as how to help his sick mother at home.
Ooh, that's very intriguing. Where did that idea come from?
The idea came from, I had this imagery in my head of a young child taking care of a baby, and I kind of just ran with that idea until this script kind of came together and created the story of the BEF.
Ooh. So how did you go about like making the film? Like, how did it go from concept to finished product?
So it was actually from concept of the script to writing it and casting and doing all the production and shooting it. It was actually only about a month.
Wow.
Yeah. So in that time, I was actually moving across from Pennsylvania to California. And in that time, I said, I want to do one more project before I leave. I have a month left. So I approached my friend, Matt Knoll, the cinematographer, and said, hey, got this crazy concept. Let's do it. He was 100% on board. And in that month, we just grinded out as much as we could and completed the film. And a week later, I did a road trip across country.
That's amazing. Like, did it come out the way you'd pictured it in your head, or like did it change based on the constraints of having to do it in such like a short time frame?
Honestly, it didn't change too much from script to completion. There's some things that happen in the movie that I couldn't even have asked for. When working with an infant and a 10-year-old, you kind of get what you can get sometimes, especially with the infant. And the baby was so good. Thankfully, I've worked with the baby and Jacob Shapiro, who played Sammy. I've worked with both of them before. And when I was writing the script, I had them in mind for the characters. And I knew that if I couldn't lock these two kids in, the movie wasn't going to be made. So when I approached the parents of the children, I said that. And I was like, hey, if you're comfortable with this script, like I wrote it for your children to be in this because they're great actors and I really want to work with them again before I move. They all read the script and the rest is history.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Like, what made you want to make a film, like a horror film centered around children?
Most of my movies revolve around children or older people, but I love putting them in situations you normally wouldn't see children in. If you watch this movie and let's say it was a 17-year-old boy taking care of like a 4-year-old, it wouldn't really hit the same way as watching this 9-year-old struggle to take care of this infant as he's being pursued by the cops and also trying to take care of his sick mom. And it's a story about just how far would you go to take care of your mother?
Aw. I'll tell you what, I think you've quite comfortably like led into what I was going to ask you next, which is like, after people like watch the film, what do you want to leave them with? Like, what do you hope they take away from it?
I'm not sure. I guess watch it and reach out to me and let me know what you think and what you feel. This is just a crazy concept that I was super excited to make, and really just about how far would you go to help a loved one.
Do love that as well. I love that make of it what you will mentality. And it's just like, yeah, it'll be fine. It's like, as long as you enjoy it.
Yeah, no, honestly, but I guess to answer the question fully would be how far would you go to help the loved one?
Yeah.
Sounds very provocative.
Yeah, it sounds very, very good.
But we are already at the end of our 5 minutes with you, so thank you so much.
That was great.
Thank you so much for coming on.
No,
if everyone could put all of their love in the chat for Eric from the BEF.
Thank you so much. Absolutely.
Anytime.
Yeah, of course. Next up.